Hey YouTube, when we talk about pre-33 gold, we're talking about pre-1933 gold. Often we think of the Liberty Gold Eagle, for example. But what was the Gold Eagle before the Liberty Gold Eagle? Was there one? Well, actually the first Gold Eagle was made in 1795, and it ran from 1795 to 1804, and you're looking at it right here. And this $10 capped bus Gold Eagle is extremely rare, not just because it only was minted from 1795 to 1804, but the reason why it stopped in 1804 has a lot to do with why it's so rare. While the U.S. government had a ratio of gold and silver at 15 to 1, over in Europe the ratio was 16 to 1. And that was quickly found out. And so for every gold coin that you could ship over to Europe, you would end up making one free ounce of silver. And ultimately what happened is basically 90% of those coins were shipped over to Europe and melted down, and the United States in turn lost much of its gold. And after 34 years of pouting about all of the gold coinage we lost in the U.S., the U.S. government finally decided again in 1838 to start producing the American Eagle. But what really changed the face of U.S. gold coinage was the gold rush out in California of 1849. As a result of that, the Congress had so much gold, they decided to start making additional coinage that had never been made before. Here, you're looking at a $1 gold piece. This one was made from 1849 to 1854. It's known as the Type 1, and it's the smallest gold coin ever made by the U.S., 13 millimeters. Wasn't very popular because it was easily lost. So midway through 1854, they decided to make it 2 millimeters larger, and they came up with a Type 2 $1 gold coin. And as you can see, compared to my thumb, it is also extremely small, but it's 2 millimeters larger in diameter. But that run only lasted for 2 years, making this a pretty rare coin, which is one of the reasons I have this one slabbed, because the Type 2s are heavily counterfeited and pretty rare. So ultimately they got it right on the Type 3, and that ran all the way to 1889. And then they came up with a $3 gold piece, and I've mentioned before in a previous video that was made really because to coincide with postage. We just a few years earlier came up with the first U.S. postage stamp. They changed the price to 3 cents, so a sheet of 100 stamps costs $3, and ultimately that's why they made this coin. And then of course there's the granddaddy of them all, the $20 double eagle. And this is the Liberty version, and it came out in 1849 as a direct result of the gold rush. And at the time, a $20 coin almost seemed silly to have one of such a large denomination. But it's a beautiful coin, and I just wanted to share some of this info with you. I know some people think numismatics are dying. I say no, they're not. I went to a coin show myself here recently, and the coin show was pretty empty, but I just think it's the manner in which people are buying. People are buying online now, auction houses and eBay, etc. And the old days of the coin show itself, though, are definitely fading away. So I'll talk with you all. Hope you get interested in some of our beautiful older American coinage. Have a good one, YouTube. Bye.